So tell us a little bit about Darksiders.
So Darksiders is essentially a badass version of Zelda. So it takes that familiar hub and dungeon structure and updates it with the sensibilities of a modern action game. So you're going to get the great combat system, a mature storyline, and a comic book art style inspired by our creative director, Joe Madureira. A lot of people know Joe Madureira's work from the comic book world, from the X-Men comic books as well as his own original creation, Battle Chaser. So Joe Mad developed the story, the art style, and is creative director on the whole project actually. So in the game, you play as War, one of the four horsemen of the apocalypse.
Nice.
You're accused of triggering the false apocalypse, wiping out humanity before its time. So, big mistake. There's a big conspiracy involved that kind of set you up for this, but you take the fall. So, as punishment, you are stripped of your powers by this governing body called the Charred Council. Before they kill you, you say, I know I didn't do it, send me back to Earth. Either I will figure out who did it, or I'll die there, and your punishment will be executed anyway. So they accept this, they send you back to Earth, and you're just on a quest to figure out who really did it, get your revenge, and get your...
So now, how are you guys handling the religious aspect of the game, and as opposed to the secular aspect of the game? Like, how are you?
Yeah,
how are you balancing that?
The game is inspired by the Four Horsemen mythos from the Bible that everybody knows, so it's a really cool out for people. But beyond that, we can deviate. Joe Mad has renamed a few of the horsemen, so instead of pestilence and famine, it's going to be fury and strife. It's not too heavy on the biblical overtones. I mean, we've developed the governing body called the Charred Council that sits between heaven and hell, so it's not too heavy-handed. But in the game, you're fighting angels, you're fighting demons. The angels have kind of been re-envisioned to be these very technologically advanced characters. So demons are very unruly, they're primitive but very powerful in numbers. The angels, there's not quite as many of them, but they've got really cool battle armor, very technologically advanced, but they are more arrogant. They have a pride about them, often to their detriment. War has just landed on Earth.
Wait, what game is this?
About 100 years after the apocalypse, and he's been shackled with this character called the Watcher. He's actually voiced by Mark Hamill, who did a really great performance for us. The Watcher has a tense relationship with War because he helps him, but he can also hurt him, as he's showing him in this cutscene here. So the Watcher's there to keep War in line because the Council doesn't quite trust him. So they're saying, we're going to send you back to Earth, but let's make sure you don't get too unruly.
Yeah.
I'm just going to show you some of the basics of the combat. You can see it's actually a pretty advanced combo system. You've got your sword in your main hand at all times. You've also got a glove or sight in the offhand. You'll also pick out the gun, a boomerang, a ghost hook weapon that can be used to pull enemies in closer to you. Combos are very seamless between sword and the glove are the two weapons I have available here. The environment's extremely interactive. I can pick up just about anything and bash people with it.
Nice.
My favorites are the cars. You can also pick up the parking cones. They don't do a whole lot of damage, but it's just kind of showing the options the player has to interact with the environment.
Right.
You can jump up and throw them. You can pick up a dumpster and brain them over the head. You got kind of the quick kill moves here.
Oh, cool.
Flipping the guys around. Most enemies, you'll have to weaken them down a bit to do the quick kills with them. These guys are pretty weak, so you can just do it to them immediately. And something to note, no quick time events whatsoever in this game. We are probably sick of them as you are, if not more so. And when we show you a really cool scene, just watch and enjoy. Don't be worried about what button to push. Just to give you a little backstory, these guys are called the Wicked. They are basically the lifeless husks of humanity who've had their souls stripped away from them and are doomed to walk the earth for all eternity. So every little character in the game has its own unique backstory and history, so even something as weak as them.
Nice.
This shows you a little bit of the exploration options. So I'm supposed to go up, but I fell down and I found a secret treasure chest. So the game is full of little surprises. You want to be able to explore every nook and cranny, and that's why we have the free camera that you can really control at will. It's a very good camera, user controllable, because you want to be able to see what's going on in that nook. Should I go up there or should I, keep going? But the camera also, like you're seeing here, it follows me extremely well, even if I'm not controlling it. So it's a lot of things we say about Darksiders, the best of both worlds, the exploration, the great combat system, the great storyline.
So now, can you upgrade War? Does he get more powers as he goes on, or?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a demon merchant called Vulgrim who uses souls. Those are the currency of the game. You can upgrade to buy new techniques, make some of your techniques more powerful, even a new weapon, and you can even get potions from them. As well as we said before, explore every nook and cranny. There's a lot of great secrets in the game. As you're getting more of those secrets, if your friend's not, your guy's going to be better than his. You can also dash. You can target enemies and dash around them, do a little circle strafe action there. So the combat system is actually very easy to learn, hard to master kind of deal.
Yeah.
Which is great because it makes the game accessible, but even as you're playing it 10, 15, 20 hours, you're still learning, you're still getting better. You know, even the people that we have working for the company that play the game are learning new things about it, you know, each day.
Oh, wow. Is this considered a boss, or is this just a tougher bad guy?
I was about to say, this is not a boss, don't get too excited, but he is kind of the boss of this particular level. I mean, Darksiders is full of mini-bosses. We've got really huge creatures you're going to fight, and the true bosses will always have a puzzle component to them, as in Zelda. They use some of the special items you find in the dungeons in order to enable you to beat them.
Oh, very cool.
You know, this guy can be beat in a couple ways just by being, you know, a good action gamer and not getting hit too much. Actually, let's watch this cutscene here. It's pretty cool.
Nice.
Now I've got my 400 treasure chest, or 400 souls that I need. Now I'll head back to Vulgrim and we'll see what he has to give us. And now that they've done that first quest for Vulgrim, I can go back to him anytime.
Yeah.
And see the upgrade screen here. So these are items, you can buy a lot of potions in the game. These are, you know, upgrades, new techniques that I can buy so you never get bored using the same ones. There's another weapon here, you can upgrade your wrath towers. And I'm going to use the item he gave me, which is called the Earth Caller, to awaken this, which is actually a stone gate creature. And you can really see the scale of this guy. He's actually got an entire cemetery up on his back. You can see whenever he bends down.
THQ. Yeah, THQ.
And this guy's basically just a door, but because it's Darksiders, it has to be a badass door. Everything has to be more epic, bigger. We always want to entertain the player no matter what you're doing.
Very cool.
And that was the Comic-Con demo. Hope you enjoyed it.
That's right. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Check out the game, January 2010.